One of the most difficult seasons to recognize is a planting season because from the outside, it can look like nothing is happening. You are working, you are praying, you are being faithful, you are investing time and energy, but there is very little visible evidence that any of it is producing results. And that's what makes planting difficult. When a farmer puts seed into the ground, the field doesn't immediately look different. There is no fruit to point to, no harvest to gather. For a while, there is simply seed beneath the soil. And maybe that describes where you are. You're doing what you believe God is giving you to do, but you cannot yet see what it is producing. So, how do you recognize a planting season? Start by asking whether you are being required to remain faithful without immediate results. Maybe you're serving in something small while carrying a vision for something larger. Maybe you're developing a skill nobody is asking for yet. Maybe you're building, writing, studying, preparing, or investing in people without knowing how any of it will eventually come together. You have seed in the ground, but no visible fruit. And that can make you question whether what you're doing matters. Abraham gives us an interesting picture of faith without complete visibility. Hebrews 11:8 says that when Abraham was called to go to a place he would later receive as an inheritance, he went out, not knowing whither he went. God gave him enough direction to obey without giving him every detail of the destination. Sometimes you get the go before you get the where, and that's uncomfortable because most of us would prefer the opposite. Show me where we're going. Show me how this is going to work. Show me what this will produce. Then I'll decide whether I want to move. But faith sometimes requires obedience before explanation. Another indicator may be the significance of small responsibilities. We often want God to show us the larger assignment while overlooking what is already in our hands. But Jesus teaches in Luke 16:10, "He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much." Small does not mean insignificant. What looks small may be developing consistency, discipline, integrity, patience, or stewardship that will matter later. But here is where planting seasons become dangerous to our thinking. We begin evaluating the seed by the absence of fruit. I've been doing this for months and nothing has happened. Nobody sees what I'm building. No door has opened. Maybe this isn't working. Be careful. Invisible does not automatically mean inactive. At the same time, don't use planting season as an excuse to keep doing something indefinitely without discernment. Not every effort is a seed God told you to plant, and not every lack of results means a harvest is secretly coming. You still have to ask, is this something God has actually given me to do? If the answer is yes, then your responsibility is faithfulness, not manufactured evidence. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Due season means there can be distance between sowing and seeing. So don't force fruit just to prove the seed is working. Don't compare your planted field with someone else's harvest. And don't abandon obedience simply because you cannot yet see what it is producing. Ask yourself, am I being faithful with what is already in my hands? Am I obeying the direction I have while trusting God with what I don't know? Am I developing something now that may matter later? If so, keep tending the ground. Because a field can look empty and still be planted. Those are not the same thing. And sometimes faith is simply knowing there is seed in the ground when your eyes cannot yet see what is happening underneath it.